Today's topic is the secondary metabolites, that is the nitrogen compound. And before going to this topic, I want to say that I already uploaded the 2 videos related to the secondary metabolites, and you just check out that videos from this channel. Okay, and it is the last part of the secondary metabolites, that is the nitrogen compound. Okay, let's start. The nitrogen compound, generally which are the nitrogen compounds that are related to the secondary metabolites. Okay, and I here don't describe about the secondary metabolites, actually not broadly obviously. So you just check out the previous videos, then you have the knowledge about the secondary metabolites. Yeah. So I just briefly say these are the compound that present in the plant body, because the plants are generally consumed by the herbivores. Okay, so they have some and obviously sometimes these are infected by some insects and obviously some pathogens. So what are the actually function of the secondary metabolites? It actually acts as the anti-herbivores. Okay, it acts as anti-herbivores, or it gives the defensive mechanism to the plant's body for their protection from the pathogenic infection or from the consuming or consumption of the plant's body by the herbivores. So it's the actual sometimes it has actually it has some toxic substances or toxic materials that are actually needed for the plants for their protection. Okay, and obviously in some plants that are consumed by the human, in that cases they actually human, they have to suffer the presence of toxic materials by the consumption of that particular plant's body. Okay, so what I'm saying here, that the nitrogen compound, generally these are the alkaloids. Okay, some alkaloids or cyanogenic glycosides. Alkaloids and cyanogenic glycosides, they remain in this category, or they have the features that they have some nitrogen substances or nitrogen atom, and that's why these are known as the nitrogen compound. Yeah. So nitrogen compound, generally these are synthesized in the plant body from the amino acids. Okay, from the amino acids, and these act as the anti-herbivores. That means the anti-herbivores means what I'm saying, I'm saying that anti-herbivores mean they have some poisonous or the toxic material that help that provide the protection of the plant body from the infection or from the herbivores. Okay, now we learn here that effect on the animals, the toxic substance that present in the nitrogen compound, these actually affect the animals. Okay, here not describe briefly how they affect, I explain it after that. After giving this information, I will explain about how this affect on the animal's body. So here what I'm saying, that nitrogen compound, obviously they have nitrogen atom, but they have a ring. This is called the heterocyclic ring. This heterocyclic ring is nothing but the ring that contains the nitrogen atom and the carbon atom. Both atoms are present, so this ring is known as the heterocyclic ring. And some common amino acids, these are lysine, tyrosine, tryptophan, and other some common amino acids. These are very important for the biosynthesis of the different nitrogen compounds. Okay, and one of the important nitrogen compound, that is called the nicotine. Okay, you already listened, I think you already listened about the nicotine. The name is not new, obviously. Okay, so this nicotine actually derives from the ornithine. Clear? Nicotine is derived from the ornithine. That means the biosynthesis of the nicotine is possible from this ornithine. Clear? biosynthesis of the nicotine I already explained. Not explained, I stated here. You just see and clearly understand how the nicotine is synthesized from the ornithine. This is the structure of the ornithine. Okay, this is the structure of the ornithine. This ornithine that converts by the 3 steps into N-methyl pyrrolinium. Okay, N-methyl pyrrolinium. And then in the next step, it transforms or it converts into the nicotine. By how it is possible? That means N-methyl pyrrolinium, how it converts to the nicotine? Obviously, in presence of this substance. This substance means what? This is called the nicotinic acid or mononucleotide. This is the nicotinic acid mononucleotide, and that converts to the nicotinic acid. Obviously, this nicotinic acid added with the N-methyl, when the conversion of the N-methyl pyrrolinium to the nicotine is continuing, then it is added with it in this changing situation or this transformation or conversion. So this is added here, and if this is added with this N-methyl pyrrolinium, this is added with this nicotinic acid, then nicotine is formed. Okay, nicotine is formed. And here you can see the NADP plus. So nicotinic acid generally this contains NAD plus and NADP plus. And why this NAD plus and NADP plus very important for the nicotinic acid? Because this serves as the electron carrier. Okay, this serves as the electron carrier. And here this is the chart. You can see this is the chart of some example, obviously, of some alkaloids. So this is the pyrrolidine and its precursor, or that means you can say the biosynthesis of this pyrrolidine is possible due to the presence of ornithine. And what is the example of this? This is the nicotine. Clear? And the second one is the tropine, and its precursor is same ornithine, and its example is the atropine. So these are the actual examples of the alkaloids, and this is the alkaloid structure, or you can say the alkaloids form. Alkaloids form, and this alkaloids form is seen in these examples or these substances. One is the nicotine, another is the atropine, next retrosine, and fourth one is the resarpine. Okay, but you can see that resarpine's precursor is different from this. This is the tryptophan. This amino acid is the tryptophan, and its form, what kind of structure is seen in this resarpine? This is the indole form. Indole form is seen. In case of retrosine, the pyrrolizidine, this type of form or structural form you can see in this retrosine. Clear? And so these are the examples, or these are the examples of the few alkaloids, and here it's not possible to explain you every biosynthesis process of the alkaloid. So I just give one example of the nicotine's biosynthesis process. Here this is the only I give example in the nicotine's biosynthesis process. You just check out another if you interested on this another alkaloids biosynthesis. Obviously you can follow any plant physiology book. Okay, so here one thing is important, that is all alkaloids are toxic to the human when taken in sufficient quantities. I also explained, or I also said that the alkaloids obviously toxic materials, and that's why it's actually its function is to give the protection for the plant's body. But sometimes some plants we consumed or human generally consumed, so in that cases if these plants are taken by us at a sufficient quantity, and then in that situation some toxic material obviously stored in our bodies. But in naturally the alkaloids are used by some medicinal purposes also. So this is the one example of the nitrogen compound whose biosynthesis I explained here, and these are some examples of the alkaloids, and this is actually affect the animals. Okay, and after that I will explain now how this biosynthesis, after biosynthesis of some alkaloids, how it affects on the animals. Clearly I explain now. Okay. Okay, so now we learn how these two types of alkaloid or nitrogen compound release and effect on the animal's body. Okay, so here two kind of important nitrogen compound. This is the cyanogenic glycosides and glucosinolates. Okay, cyanogenic glycosides and glucosinolates. So these are the two compounds that actually present in the plant body, but these are responsible for sometimes smell and the taste of vegetables in the plant's body. Here, but and these are naturally it is not toxic when it remain in the plant's body without any crushing situation. But when these are toxic at that situation when the plant's body become crushed. Okay. In that situation, these form some toxic materials that affect on the animal's body. So here you can see the first one. This is number 1 and this is the number 2. And in case of number 1, here I explain about, I think, glycosides. This is the glycosides. How the formation occur in case of glycosides. So you can see this is glycoside. Okay, and here the compound that is important, this is the sugar. Okay, and the enzyme, this is very important, called the glycosidase enzyme, that release actually the sugar material that present in this. Okay, glycoside compound, the sugar material released from the glycoside compound due to presence of or activity of glycosidase enzyme. And what happened when the sugar release, the formation, you can see the structure changes here. And in presence of or the activity of hydroxynitrile lyase, this is another enzyme, or after the reaction of this or after the activation of this enzyme, the reaction become occurring spontaneously, and at that situation the two important products you can see formed here. One is the ketone, another is the hydrogen cyanide. This hydrogen cyanide is very toxic, or this is the poisonous gas that affects on the animal's body. Clear? So here the two steps very important for the breakdown of the glycoside compound. In the next step, this is the glucosinolates. This is one kind of glucosinolate, and you can see here the glucose is present. Here the sugar is present, and here you can see the glucose is present. Okay. So glucose released by the activation of this enzyme. This enzyme's name is the thioglucosidase. And the glucose released from this compound, and what formation, the structural changes some occurring here, you can see. And after that the spontaneous reaction reaction continuing, then the spontaneous reaction when continuing, then the sulfate that present in there that release from this compound. Okay, then two products you can see from here. One is isothiocyanate and second one is the nitrile. Okay, isothiocyanate and nitrile. So this is the poisonous substance, the isothiocyanate. Okay, so you can learn here how this type of nitrogen compound release the poisonous or the toxic material, or which substance is very effective to the animal's body. But when it remains in the plant body, before crushing the plant's body, these two substances are not, or these two compounds are not very harmful to the plant's body. Clear? And I just say here that glucosinolates or the mustard oil glycosides. You can just know here mustard oil that contains the glycosides. So this is why important, because this before breakdown, these are responsible for the smell and the taste of different vegetables. Okay, cabbage, radish, etc. And this breakdown to release the defensive substances that is found in the Brassicaceae. Brassicaceae, one kind of plants family, you can say. So there actually the defensive substances are seen, okay, or found. And so what is the actual role when it present in the plant's body? That helps responsible for the smell and the taste. So cabbage and radish, these are the broccoli, obviously, two or three important vegetables where you can see this type of the alkaloids or the nitrogen compound. And if you want to know the humans or the medicinal purposes, what alkaloids are necessary for the medicinal purposes, then obviously you consult a different type of books. Okay, so I think I have completed the secondary metabolites that is related to the nitrogen compound, and another two secondary metabolites you can search from my channel. I already uploaded this with in my previous videos. Okay, so thank you.